go to the library or study space and do that.
Because in a way, you're still like in learning mode because you're in the uni.
I won't use sick. I won't use sick. No, this is
All right.
Thank you.
Hey guys, you're tuned to Slice Podcast. You've got the guy, Toby the Guy Senpai, and you've also got...
Who is Mo? Find out on the tubes.
Okay. You also got Who is Ta? Find out on the podcast, aka the champion.
Don't say it, Tom. Don't say it, Tom.
Resist. You must resist, Tom. This thing is dying. Yo.
I can't even say it, bro. I can't even say it. Okay. And you got Who is Tom? Find out on Apple Podcast.
Okay.
A lot of who's today. Today. So yeah.
AKA, I wasn't done. AKA the Magic Man. AKA I don't know. I can't do this, bro. Anyway,
hey, AKAs aren't for everyone, am I right?
I can't do this, bro.
Hey, that's true.
Some people be stealing my intro, but it's all right, fam.
That's true, bro. Who's worked very well?
Why aren't you
Who's
original
worked
like
very
that, bro?
well,
What's going on? I think you maybe need to find a new thing.
What, a new AKA?
Nah, you can't really be stealing Mo's intro like that, bro.
Oh,
Most
true.
intro?
True.
Wait, what's going on here?
I'm not gonna.
Who is Mo? Find out on the tubes because we're on YouTube.
I'm not gonna lie.
You lot are dumb. Like, this isn't recorded. I don't know what's going on here. Like, there isn't. Like, you niggas aren't calling 4K trying to steal some shit. I don't know, let's introduce the
I'm not
episode.
gonna lie.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
not gonna lie. It's a mint media. I'm not gonna lie.
I'll take you to court, Top. I'll take you to court.
Okay,
I'll
so
allow more, but
right, so treason aside. So today we've got the second episode of Uni Chronicles, and I guess to start off, would you all consider yourselves as serious students?
100%. If I'm lying, listen, yeah, I put that on the podcast.
Stop the
I
cap!
attended every lecture. If I'm lying, let the cameras turn off now. I'm lying. The cameras will shut down and the Silence Podcast ends today. I attend every lecture. I put down everything. Put down all our episodes.
If he's capping, comment, please.
Stop the cap.
Yeah.
There's no cap. There's no cap.
Taff, when was the last time you went to a lecture, bro?
Before COVID, fam. As we know, COVID, hit us hard.
So you don't wait. Hold
Good
on.
students like us weren't able to go to
Taff.
lectures anymore.
So
and
you're
it
not
is
attending
what
your
it is.
lectures online?
I mean,
That's crazy. Anyway, Mo, what going on? Are you a serious student?
I'm a serious student, of course. Of course. I attend a majority of my lectures. I won't lie. I don't attend them all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rate the honesty.
Thank you.
And Tom?
I literally have 3 seminars a week. I have to attend them.
Just seminars, or do you have a mixture of lectures?
Big man, they've stopped teaching. Fam, they upload our lectures online. Just say, do what you have to.
Bro, speaking about like our unis, just a quick refresher, by the way. I do biomed at Northumbria. What do you guys do? Just a quick.
Mechanical engineering at Northumbria.
Chemical engineering, Newcastle.
Yeah, Northumbria got hacked.
This guy is mad. This guy is mad.
What do you need?
Oh, yeah. What do you guys do, by the way? Let me just check. Then when I'm about to speak, you just cut me off.
Oh, sorry, I thought you did it.
That's just
sorry,
a
I'm
let-
sorry.
that's
I'm
a
sorry,
let
bro,
down.
I'm
Hey,
sorry.
fam, just because he stole my intro, now he's trying to steal my voice as
It
well.
wasn't intentional.
But yeah, I do mechanical engineering at Newcastle.
So as I was saying, Northumbria got hacked. Newcastle got hacked. Every uni got hacked in the Northeast. But how that disrupted us in general was our timetables got knocked off in it. So I wasn't really motivated to revise or even look at lectures because I lost confidence in my uni. I can't lie, Tom.
Taff, it's been 6 months, big man. No, first of all, what are you not
No,
gonna do?
I'm talking about
Is
early
this
stages.
an
I'm
excuse?
just talking about early stages.
Alright.
Yeah. So obviously the confidence came back because man needs a degree, man needs some P as well. So, we found our motivation in the end. But initially, how are you supposed to look at your uni when they tell you, hey, sorry guys, we just got hacked? I'm like, bro, hacked. My address is on there. My number's on there. Like my dad's contact details. Everyone's like privacy just got breached. And then, timetables got knocked off. Everything got derailed, basically, for me personally. And when you don't even rate your uni security like that, you're sort of like, well, what's going on here? What am I doing? And a lot of things just cycled through my head at that time. But how were you, Tom, when that happened?
I didn't really care, to be fair.
You didn't care?
They know my bank details, so I don't really care.
Do they not?
No,
Societies, unless you PayPal, I guess. Yeah.
either way, like only student finance has our most important details.
Mm-hmm.
Universities, I don't think they do. I can't remember whether I've actually given them that many important details or not, except for like my home address. But who's really trying to come to my house?
So you're just chilling there.
No, but
pretty
fraud,
much.
fam. So you know how you basically give my name and then someone else's address when you get stopped by trams. Imagine
Oh
someone
my
does that,
God.
but with your name and your address.
Oh my god!
Yeah, yeah. So imagine how when that happens, Tom.
It's always beef between you two. Man.
It's not beef. I just thought I'd mention that.
And I do it again. I would do it again.
Okay.
Now,
but-
first of all, no, we're not gonna breeze over that. Like he just didn't
I
say
mean,
that. I don't. The nigga is lying. The nigga is lying, and he doesn't attend his lectures either. Let me make that very clear.
Okay.
Taft don't attend no lecture. It's a running joke within us. Like Taft doesn't attend his lectures. He is barely even a student at this point. The nigga is there and just scan his ID card and goes. He's actually he sleeps all day. He eats all night and drinks.
Yeah.
You know, a bit of a
Okay.
alcoholic problem.
What-
That's all I have to say.
Well, lockdown since the start of uni, or
Like, some might say that I predicted lockdown.
You know what?
I predicted lockdown.
Like, I like to believe I'm a serious student, but
Yeah.
last year, just before the lockdown started, I was getting vibes that things are gonna go downhill.
shut up, man.
Me and Taf got those vibes. Me and Taf got those vibes because I just started to see Taf at home a lot more. I think that's because maybe I was at home a lot more. But I'd be like, I'd see Taf, he'd see me. Yo, how you doing, bro? Uni? Nah, of course not. And then maybe
It wasn't like that.
No, it was. Then like a couple of weeks later, the lockdown happened. But then before that, like coronavirus was already a thing. It's just that it wasn't big in the UK. But when I saw those numbers going high, I knew I made the right decision.
Yup, same.
And we stayed healthy.
We did.
So
I actually attended my lectures
can't
up
believe
until
it.
And what
they
did
got
you get?
cancelled.
yeah, exactly.
Corona.
I didn't get corona. What's
Okay.
going on? I didn't get
Okay,
corona, bro.
okay.
Well, I actually got my education stuff. What did you get? Alcoholism.
Jesus
peak.
Christ.
But the hack happened for you guys, but I don't think Newcastle took it as serious.
I thought we were more serious in Northumbria because I remember hearing stuff about actually having students' data held up for ransom.
Yeah, the ransom thing happened
Yeah.
as well with us, definitely.
Well, you
No.
Without uni,
Nah, bro.
That's
We
rough.
didn't get held ransom. It was only in Newcastle.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was only Newcastle uni students. Yeah, but I wouldn't say it affected the way I saw uni or affected like the way my attitude towards work. It was just like shit then, and then just carried on.
I think it's because we don't deep it as in it wasn't on the news like some guy in a balaclava like with his voice covered saying, if you don't give us 100 and something grand, we're gonna leak your students' info. Like because it wasn't a visual thing like that,
Yeah.
I don't think we took it as seriously, or like especially the ransom thing for you guys. But I'm pretty sure it's still some deep shit. Like if niggas are stealing and then some nerd on a computer is typing, like, if you don't give me, I guarantee you, it was the computer science kids.
Well, Newcastle uni.
Listen, the grades got fucked, yeah, and these man said they'll band together as a cohort and just stealing
TikTok
everything.
Newcastle.
No, it wasn't that bad. It didn't affect our timetables really or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
It was just more of a thing that people couldn't log into S3P, like the website that we
Yeah.
use to like couldn't find my modules and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But other than
But
that,
that's still a crucial part. In terms of modules, do you guys, I'm just curious, do you guys download everything onto your computer?
like all the content.
Yeah, all your content, or do you just strictly go to your poll?
I go to my portal. I work if I need to download it or if I need to print something out, then I'll work to my needs. But then I won't download everything. I haven't got time or space for all of that.
Yeah, pretty much exact same as well, man.
For me, I download all my assignment stuff at the very beginning. All that's on my laptop. But apart from that, I just download it as the weeks go by.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I downloaded it after that one time they done some sneaky shit with an exam, fam.
What they do?
So I went onto the exam page, and as we were doing the exam, they locked all the modules. I was like, yo. I was like, let me in. Let me in.
So I was clicking how fast.
I was just trying well, you're like, it's okay. My modules are right there. Let me just do the exam and then open up the PowerPoints.
Wait, tough.
That's
Isn't it?
funny.
Because
Bro, they blocked it.
There's always one kid that has downloaded everything.
Oh, true.
There is always one kid
So I
that
have to ask around.
because like I think for me, someone put like a link in a group chat for like all the lectures we needed.
Do they block your stuff too?
Allegedly, I'm not really sure if this happened or not. But someone did put a link in. Someone apparently put a link in the group chat. What's it called? But they didn't block our stuff. We thought they might. To be fair, we weren't really sure. But what they did do for one of our exams. I think there was the hardest exam as well. Like it was mostly I wouldn't even call it maths. It's engineering, and each question was tailored to our student number.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna lie, the numbers change. Everything is changing.
Yeah.
So that means everyone's doing the work. No one is cheating for nothing.
Yeah.
So
So,
take your shit serious, bro.
Yeah, it was long. The other two were calm, wasn't that deep, but that one, no one was cheating.
Damn.
Speaking of exams, how do you guys like prepare in general for those exams, like revision wise? Like not just an exam period, but the lead up, like throughout the entire year, if you do prepare in the first place.
So sort of like your work routine.
Yeah, your work routine basically. Yeah.
Ugh. Do you want to go first?
Oh yeah, I don't mind.
As a serious student,
Yes.
maybe you can drop some gems for the listeners, so they can learn a thing or two from you, OG.
Man put on that jersey, thinks he's something.
That's
But I would say my normal work routine, ideally, so when I'm not slacking, because that can happen, I'm not always working at 100% efficiency. Yeah, but when I
honest,
am,
man. Honest, man.
It's very humble.
there we go. When I am working at 100% efficiency, it's attend the lectures just as a first, and then I used to try to take notes, but I like my notes to be neat, so I would always fall behind, and then I wouldn't really be listening to what they're saying in class. So I would just say, you go to your lecture, don't write anything during it other than small stuff that you might forget, and then go over your lecture notes later on, like maybe late that weekend or later that day. I watched this video by this other YouTuber that I'm not going to... Actually, no, I'm going to say his name. Ali Abdal. He's actually a really good YouTube to go to if you want to check him out as well.
I hope he's paying you.
No, he's not. But was Roku paying us last week? No, I don't think so. Yeah. And basically, there are studies that show that when you've recently learned something, going over it as soon as possible, but giving yourself some time as well to let it digest, and then actively recalling that information over time is the best way to commit it to memory. So reading and all that stuff isn't going to do much, but doing active activities, I guess, like flashcards or just asking yourself questions and then checking on the ones that you didn't answer well, is a good way to commit stuff to memory. And I would say that's generally what I do. Then you get past papers in that over time. You get you have tutorials as well, where you can answer questions, problem sheets. I have those for maths, all that stuff. If you have problems, go to your lecturer or your supervisor or whatever, or other students as well. You can talk to other students if you want to. And then comes to exam. If they're online exams, really you shouldn't be flopping because you have all the resources available to you.
And the internet.
And the internet as well. But then if they are timed, because I think I had like 2 exams this Jan that were like restricted to like 2 hours, then you just have to make sure that you know your shit. Because there is no time to be like, okay, cool, I've got a 24-hour exam. Let me take my time with it. You can't pace yourself on a 2-hour exam.
Could I add something as well? Something small. So when you're in your lectures in uni, in your lecture halls, like Mo said, don't take notes because you're going to miss what they're saying. Mm-hmm. So, what I would normally do is, because what our lecturers do, they make the PowerPoint, right? But then there's some slides that they don't put onto the ones online. So it's also to sort of punish the people that don't turn up to their lectures. So what I would do is basically open up the PowerPoint on my computer and then look at what they're doing on the screen, right? And so anything that wasn't available to me, I would take notes of that and then do it. But not all lecturers do that. Not everyone's a dickhead, fam. So if you're lucky, you don't have to. But be vigilant is what I'm saying.
These are just lecturers that are concerned, by the way. I wouldn't say dickheads.
No,
they're
they're
dickheads.
dickheads. They're dickheads. There was one that told me,
I pay for the whole lecture. I pay for 50 slides, not 48, not 47. I pay for 50 slides.
There we go.
Taf, you're lucky, bro.
Hey, man.
I remember during like last year, what's it called, before COVID, I think there was 1 week of lectures from one module he didn't upload, and if you try click on it, all it said is went through in lecture.
No, that's
It's-
terrible.
It's not like they did, and it's not even like they didn't just skip out a lecture. Fam, they just didn't upload a whole week of lectures because they're like you should have been there in person.
At the end of the day, you're paying for a service,
Yeah.
and
But
of
I
course
think they're not
that service
mandatory. I think they said that when
Well,
we first got to uni, like it's not mandatory for them to upload it or some shit. So I was a bit on edge.
well,
like,
that's silly still.
Which ones are gonna do it, or which ones are not?
How can it not be mandatory to upload your lectures? Why are
in
you
my,
being lazy?
in my first year, not everyone actually fair. No lecturer actually uploaded. They only uploaded lecture slides. Didn't actually upload the lecture. No one actually started doing that for me until like it's my second
Wait,
year.
but Toby, how do you
Oh,
revise?
okay. Yeah, I guess it's very similar to what Mo does, but I guess an important point to bring up is that obviously the revision tactics change from course to course. Like yeah, like I'm an engineering student, and the content you go through is just mad. Like, as in trying to make flashcards for every single topic is you're just wasting your time, honestly.
Wait, so give us an example of like 2 different modules that use 2 different ways to revise.
Oh, not even modules, like courses, sorry. Oh, as in like well, like for example, I guess some like law and engineering. I guess like I guess your way of revising would be different. Like it differ because engineering like just has a lot of content really to go through. So then trying to remember every single bit of content isn't really the way to go about it, but just more of like how you use the knowledge that you know and then apply it practically. So I'd say definitely like focusing on tutorials and problem sheets is the best way to go about it. I'd refer to like I'll give advice about lectures, but Mo pretty much already said everything that I agree with. As in, don't take notes, pay attention to what they're saying. Then after, go back, then rewatch the lecture, make some notes on it, and so on and so forth. But my key point is just practice, bro.
Yeah.
Just practice.
Early stages for me, I would say I would go to the lecture, and I clocked like the first week that it's dumb to actually write notes because I'm missing and this guy's skimming through. So what I'll do is it's just like second revision in a way where you watch your lecture in the lecture hall, and then when you go back home, you watch the lecture again at your own time and you take your own speed. But then I got to the conclusion that sure, I'm, in a way revising the same content twice, just one just through audio and then the other one like properly taking it in. But then I was like, do I really need to go lectures? When you think about it.
And that was the beginning of the end for you.
Yeah,
that was the beginning of the end.
No. Should I be... Lectures for me were always an online thing, fam. We just go in to like mark our attendance, but then the real work is always done at home with uni, fam. Don't put your whole like belief into, I'll go lectures and everything will be fine, bro. The real work is at home. So if the real work is at home, what am I doing going to like lectures 24/7? Like, I'm calm, just chilling at home doing my lectures. Like, obviously you want to see the sun and switch up your day. If you want to like spice up your week, go to your lectures. Honestly. But the two most important resources are your lecturers. Because your lecturers, you can always speak to your lecturers. That's what the value is. You work at home, and if you have questions, and the only time you get proper quality teaching is when you ask your lecturers about certain things. So don't be afraid to like just speak to them and say, "Yo, this is what I'm having trouble with. Can I da 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 da?" And then they let you know in more detail, and they're not brushing through something, and they can walk you through things a lot easier.
I do recommend going to your lectures.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Tom.
Yeah, we all do.
I do recommend
sorry,
going.
Taff.
I can't really speak for Taff. But like on your first intake, I think just the small things will stand out. That they might be small, but you might not understand them. You can actually ask your lecturer straight away. There's no delay. You won't get left behind. You can just ask in my lectures anyway, you can just raise your hand.
Yeah.
And or just ask a question or go to them afterwards, which is the useful thing. You don't have to wait for an email back. Or you don't have to wait until you see them next week. Ask them straight away. It's the most useful thing, to be honest, in my opinion anyway. Make sense of it right there and then. If not, it's gonna be a pain to actually understand later on. Right now, when the day your lecture comes out, revise it on that, go over it on that day. Don't wait until one day to start revising everything, because say a Saturday. Because if something comes up on that Saturday and you cannot revise all your lectures, it's long the next week. Because that means you probably end up writing about 6-7 lectures in one day. That's jarring. I'm not even sure if it's possible to do anything of quality like that in one day. Yeah. So I'd say right now in COVID times, when your lecture comes out online, watch it that day. Might not be at that time, but make sure you watch it that day. Because at least it's everything spaced out. Because of what? Maximum a lecture is 2 hours. Yeah? Yeah. Max a lecture is 2 hours. So just space it out throughout your week. Because again, we don't even have that many lectures now anyway. So why not?
Oh, I would also recommend not just relying on universities' lectures. Obviously, read books if you have stuff to read. But I was going to say as well, go to YouTube. There's a lot of lectures on YouTube that some people find a lot more helpful. Like, people always say all the time that, I didn't understand my lecture, but some random guy on YouTube broke down this concept and I understood it. Because maybe the way they're delivering the content to you isn't as efficient, or, it doesn't reach you versus another person's way of doing it. But always, go out to the internet and just see what's there, really.
Yeah.
Oh, and go through your reading list as well. Because I didn't touch my reading list until this year. I never touched my reading list at
Jesus.
all. I didn't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
God.
I didn't realize listen, the required reading and our reading list are two very different things. For me anyway.
So
like the stuff that I do have to read because it will help me. And we have a very long list of a very long reading list that was suggested. I'm not gonna lie, reading lists help out a lot. It really does. I'm no cap. Reading list bangs.
Yeah. If I was gonna give one tip, I would say that, obviously we're talking as people that some of us go to lectures, some of us don't.
on the
That was necessary. It was necessary.
I put that on Sliders Miami.
Okay. But essentially, at the end of the day, you might be one of those people that does like to go lectures and you enjoy them, but you just might fall behind. And falling behind is completely normal. It might happen just because you're feeling lazy for a couple of days, and then that couple of days builds into a couple of weeks because, I missed this lecture. I'm not going to know what he's meaning in this one, so I need to catch up before I go to that one.
Yeah.
You don't catch up, and then it builds up over time. Or you just might be sick. There might be something going on in your personal life, stress, etc. It can happen to anyone. I would say that to get through falling behind, you just have to sit down one day, list everything that you've got, you need to know, and then maybe wait for a buffer week. I think that's a new thing for mechanical engineering in Newcastle anyway.
Buffer or reading week?
Buffer. Buffer's a new thing in Newcastle for mechanical engineering, and I'm pretty sure it's across the whole year. Everyone gets a buffer week.
What's a buffer week?
It's just a week where there's no lectures. So
Swear.
This week. in
That's
Newcastle-
revolutionary, fam. Who
Yeah.
the fuck came up with that?
Oh,
They're
I've
on
got
job.
one as well
They're
now.
on job, yeah.
I actually have one as well now.
So is
Yeah.
it an engineering?
I'm not sure if it's a reading week, but because I remember in first year I actually didn't have one.
That's so obvious. We should have had that from time.
What's the difference between the reading week and the buffer week then?
They're essentially the same thing in terms of
Week off.
what it actually means for you. You have no content. They call it a reading week for other courses because reading weeks they're particular to courses. It's okay, cool. You guys take this week, read through extra stuff, catch up on work if you haven't caught up. If you're behind, do this. But then other courses I've never had a reading week until this year. Well, they called it a buffer week this year, but everyone gets the buffer week. So it's calm.
Yeah.
And you can use those weeks in particular to mow through bare work if you decide to sit down and pattern it. And then if you can't do that, if you don't have a buffer week, because I'm sure that when they start cutting down on this whole, because it's a corona pandemic thing, we need to do this. So when they eventually take away the buffer week and all that stuff, and you're on those courses that don't get it, then you have to look at your holidays like Christmas, Easter. Easter, that's a whole month. And so is Christmas as well now, actually, as well, isn't it? You just need to sit down, and in those months you have off, you definitely have enough time to catch up and still have a life.
Wait, let's talk more on that. So you talked about, being behind on lectures and revision and stuff. So what are times where us have bounced back from just being behind? Or have you even bounced back? Or did you not bounce back and just have to firm the L straight?
I think I've fallen back by 2-3 weeks. In one of my modules, it was this material science one. But what was so good, or not good, but what was best about me falling behind in that particular module was that she recorded her lectures, and she also put the lecture, the slides online, and they were the same, slide to slide, it was the same thing. So I'm getting exactly the same content. So before we had like a computer exam that was like quite easy. So I caught up like 3 lectures the day before. And then I was able to like go into the exam and be like, okay, I know how to do all of this. Although the only issue would have been that if I struggled with any of the content, it would have been peak for the exam. But I was able to catch up because she had all the stuff available, and it wasn't like they weren't like 50 plus like slides. There was like 20 to each PowerPoint, so it was calm. But if you're falling behind in everything,
Restart the year. Just hit the reset button.
no, you
Just
You
wait
hit
till
that
next
big
year.
red button and say, "Yep."
at that point, I think you just need to be honest with yourself and the uni. Like, there's clearly a reason. I don't think it can just be put down to laziness. I don't think anyone's lazy enough to just fall behind in everything. So I feel it's like, if you are, then I guess uni's just not cut out for you. But if you have, then you just need to talk to the uni. They do help out. Like, there are student support plans that Newcastle have in place that can help you out if you're falling behind, maybe something's going on with you. And then it will just help you with everything because they're more allowing or more understanding. Like, you'll get more time in exams, which is good. Then I'm pretty sure you get more interaction as well from the uni. So they'll check up on you more often. Everyone's got a supervisor as well, so it's all common on that front. But yeah. Just be honest with yourself in the uni. Get in contact.
I feel like a time I bounced back was, I think it was first year. Why is that funny? I don't know. Why are we laughing, fam? I'm out here trying to tell my comeback story. Niggas are begging. What's going
No,
on?
let us know when you
No. Wait. Say what you need to say.
No, bounce back.
And then I can continue by.
No, bounce back.
Okay, right. So a time I bounced back now was in the first year, actually. And the way I sort of maneuvered it was just looking at your priorities and seeing what you have. Because it baffles me to this day how there's people in the group chat, that will go into the group chat and ask, yo, so when's our exam? Like, my nigga.
Oh, good point.
Exams are in 2 weeks and you don't even know when the exam is. Like, so for me, what I do in the beginning of the year beginning of the year semester, I always write down, okay, so these are my exams, these are the dates, this is what I'm doing. So I know exactly like when things are going off from the jump, you get me? But obviously we know when exam season is, like May, Jan, and all that stuff there, but so I know what's going on. So one thing that I had to revise for was the practicals, because I struggle with the practicals, I can't lie. It's some data stuff. So what I do is I see what's needed for the exam, and then I just hammer out the essentials. So at that point, you just have to be real with yourself and say, what can you physically do in the amount of time that you have and do well? Like, I'm not talking about skimming through the whole module. I'm just saying the exam requires this, so do this. Because what I've noticed is they don't ask you about everything. And more time, our uni, my course lets me know, okay, so this is what you're expected for the practical. You're analyzing this, that, and the other, interpreting data, da-da-da-da-da. So you know what you're doing. So you just need to prioritize, because not every lecture will be in use for that first semester. You know, at most you're probably getting tested on like 5 lectures out of the 12 or however many lectures in that module. But doing that.
I don't know. Just a piece of advice for anyone just planning on doing engineering. If you are lazy and do like everyone knows themselves. If you can assess yourself, say you are like, you're probably just gonna party around. Make sure you don't miss the first 3 weeks of learning, because those are the weeks you do not want to waste when exam. That's the time that you don't want to waste when exam comes. Like, you don't want to waste time on those 3 weeks, because of course they're essential, but they're gonna take time for you to learn. You need to focus on every other week that came after that. Maybe like the next 4 weeks after the first 3 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks. You don't want to waste time on those first 3 weeks because they take a while to go through as well. So make sure if you are going to slack off, do it after the first 3 weeks. I wouldn't recommend slacking off. Let me make this very clear.
There we go.
But
I
if
wouldn't recommend. But if you are, do not miss the first 3 weeks, because
Hold
you
up.
are wasting your time in the future when exams come. Because I'm not gonna lie, if you
Did you miss the first 3 weeks?
no.
Though, did you see how niggas turned out when they did?
Big man, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't miss the first 3 weeks, and I know how stressed I was, because the first 3 weeks always covers the basics of like the foundation of that module, especially with engineering. First 3 weeks always covers the foundation. So if you miss them first 3 weeks, it's long when exam. Because I'm not gonna lie, it was just coffee when exams came. Espressos, it was long, and imagine trying to do that and do my first 3 weeks. and because your exams are never, especially in engineering, they're never based on the first 3 weeks ever. But you need the first 3 weeks to understand everything else.
Yeah, context is sort of important
Context.
in there.
What about you, Toby? Any bounce backs?
Not bounce backs, but I was actually going to give, address the whole attending lectures thing. I think one thing, one advantage about attending lectures, like not only is it beneficial to listen to what the lecturer is saying, but being with your course mates as well. Like being able to talk to them, discuss them, see how they're working as well. Like when it comes to like actually discussing your work, I think that sort of motivates you too to like get some more work done. And at the end of the day, motivation is something where you can just summon on command. It's there through like such interactions or your mood as well. I think attending lectures definitely boosts it as well, which is one issue I have with lockdown, the fact that you're missing that important aspect of it too.
Not me.
Oh, I'm
Doing it from day one. It's a bounce back.
just what's it called? Just another piece of advice. If you have the time after lectures, if we ever go back to learning in person, if you have the time, don't go home after your lecture. Go to the library or something, then do your lecture there.
Yeah, that's pretty
Because it's long especially after you walk home or take a metro home. It's just jarring having to go through that lecture again. Go to the library or study space and do that.
Because in a way, you're still like in learning mode because you're in the uni
I won't use
environment.
sick. I won't use sick. No, this is
All
one
right.
time.
Thank you.
This doesn't apply to you, bro.
I've just been tarnished. I started this episode off on a good note that I'm a good student, and if I lie, the podcast dies.
Also, I wanted to say that obviously, like most of us are, like 3 of us are engineering students, yeah. So our courses are a lot different to the audience most likely. I mean, not everyone does engineering, but for courses that are more coursework based, like maybe a law or geography or anything like that, where or any courses where you have to write essays like every week or every other week, which we certainly don't do in engineering, yeah.
Facts.
To help with that, from other people I've seen on YouTube and friends, it's more of a get used to the routine because you know that you're gonna have to do it every week or every other week, and then just break it down like that. Or after he writes down his exams at the beginning of the semester or the year, do that for your assignments as well or your essays. I do that for my assignments, like coursework, like the small bits I have to do. But if I had essays as well, I'd definitely break it down. Okay, cool. So I have this essay due this week.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I know I've got a week to do that. Let me pattern it, write it, done. And then I'll see on a piece of, like maybe on a Word document, a Google Doc, okay, this is coming up next. Because when it's on any portal that you use or virtual learning thing you use for school, and maybe they have it in a calendar format, it's kind of tough to see everything at the same time and acknowledge, okay, it's cool, I've got this amount of work. But if everything's in a list, if you see 12 like rows of work in a straight list, then you're like, damn, I really got to pan all this stuff. Yeah, it's hard to deceive yourself when it's all straight in your face like that.
It's demoralizing.
Yeah, just having a visual aid or visually seeing shit. Like, things don't become real till you see it, fam. That's what I'll say.
So I'm guessing you never saw your lectures then.
Oh, Tom just got jokes today, fam. Tom just got the joke. But like Mo said, that list will ground you very, very quickly because it's easy to say, oh, I don't have lectures or the exams or whatever, they're coming when they're coming. But when you have the dates, when you're looking at the calendar and you see the red dots, however you mark it, the shit's real.
Not gonna lie. If you open them folders, the way your heart sinks is long. If you go on Blackboard and you know you're falling behind, you open the folders that you need to catch up on and you see the amount of work you actually need to catch up on. True. Your heart sinks.
You forget what course you're on for a second. It's just unrecognizable.
You're seeing some words you don't understand.
And especially with engineering, understand this. If you're going to study engineering, these universities, they don't care about you, bro. They don't care about you. We don't do essays every week because the content we have to go through is ridiculous. So if you're falling behind, do so at your own peril. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And I think that's it for the people.
Yeah, man. Hey, thank you for listening to Silas Podcast. This has been your host, Mo.
Wait, hold on.
He's Mo, found it on the podcast, on the tubes, on Apple Podcast. Also call me Mo, the guy senpai. And
Okay, he's stealing everything.
Okay, right. Look at the plagiarism. You got Toby the guy senpai.
You got Who's Taff, find it on the pod, aka the champion.
Please remember to subscribe on YouTube, share with your friends. Also follow us on all major streaming platforms. And we appreciate the support so far. And please keep watching. And it has been your boy, Who is Tom, find on Apple Podcast, aka Toxic Tom, aka I'm taller than Taff, aka Taff doesn't go lectures.
It's not very hard.
Okay.
Okay.
Bless.
For the people that are listening at the end and are still tuned in, just know you're the real ones. We appreciate you. And since you're listening at the end, this one's just for you. We now have a Patreon.
Oh, fuck off.
Miami.
Oh, my
God. We are also doing Tokyo.
So
and we are also doing
Tokyo.
Milan. Which one's the one with the...
Bro, it's just you.
Which one's the one with the what?
Monaco.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sliders, Miami, Monaco, and Tokyo are options on our Patreon. If you just want to see us have a good time,
Premium content.
Premium content
Behind the
Toby, are we allowing
scenes.
this? I bet Toby Sanders.
We have archives. Yeah.
the podcast.
I'm telling you, if you want to see these guys at their worst,
Listen, you don't.
then
Okay, now this shit's getting cut out. Okay, now this is getting cut out. We're not
then
leaving that
sub to the Patreon. Don't do it if you don't have the money though. And on the real, like I really don't. You guys don't need to do it.
shit. It's worth your last penny.
We got student finance.
Since you're still watching, you might as well.
I bet.
I mean,
If you've made it here, it would be a real letdown.
yeah.
It would be a real letdown.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Sliding out.